I'm Tony Johnson, the PM exam guru with Crosswind Learning. In this video today, we're going to discuss 10 ways to succeed as a project manager. Now, audience-wise, you might go, Tony, I'm already a project manager. Well, maybe you're an accidental project manager. In other words, you're the technical person that all of a sudden ended up being responsible for something. Or maybe you're a project manager that has a hard time keeping a job. If we're good project managers, we work ourselves out of a job in a lot of cases. And then I've known a few project managers that have a hard time keeping a job even though the project is still going. So, hopefully we'll give you some good insight here. Point number one, own it. I can't emphasize this enough. I know a guy that can't keep a job, as a project manager, and you talk to him, it's always somebody else's fault. It starts and it stops with you. Here in Dallas, where I'm recording this, the Dallas Cowboys, love them or hate them. They're a polarizing team. But Troy Aikman has 3 Super Bowl rings. I hate to say it, Tony Romo has 0. The project manager is the quarterback, and it's your job to own it. It's your job to deliver. And, in Dallas, Troy Aikman and Roger Staubach are project managers that are remembered down the road way more and way better than, say, Tony Romo or Danny White, because while they all owned it, at the end of the day, the guys on this hand have rings and the guys on this hand didn't. Number 2, know the stakeholders. A stakeholder is anybody impacted by the project or thinks they are impacted by the project per PMI's definition. So know your stakeholders, because those are the people whose expectations and engagement you're trying to manage. Now, point number 3, know your key stakeholders. In other words, you can't make everybody happy. Only person X can make person X happy. That might be the most important thing I have to say in this video. You can't make a stakeholder happy, but if you have some general stakeholder versus some key stakeholder and their objectives are conflicting, who wins? Well, your key stakeholders, your sponsor, the people paying for it, the people supporting it. Those typically are going to be the people whose needs you expressly try to satisfy. Point number 4, honesty and quickly admit mistakes. Stuff happens. It's like I've said to our product development people from over the years when they've joined us, we're going to make mistakes. Stuff happens. We're going to do things here that haven't been done before. So don't be afraid to make a mistake. But if you make a mistake, be honest about it, quickly admit it, and work through a solution. If it was easy, they wouldn't need you. They would just tell the technical people, roll it out. Now, point number 5, document, but not too much. I've seen a number of people over the years think the PMBOK guide and all its paperwork is, it's like, choking you with paperwork. The bottom line is this, you need some documentation, even if it's deliverable sign-off or a milestone list, but ask yourself, does the documentation add value? If not, don't do it. Don't do paperwork just to do paperwork. Point number 6, focus on results. You heard me talk earlier about, owning it. It comes down to results. We teach our kids, it's a result-driven thing. Well, the kid says, I tried to do my homework. Okay, did you get it done or not? Project management is no different. You could try to deliver, but the bottom line is if you didn't deliver, you didn't deliver. So you got to focus on results. Do I care about tasks or activities? I can't say no, but I care more about results than tasks or activities. Because if we have results, tasks or activities took care of themselves. Lock down scope quickly. This is a huge one, huge. Because if you can't lock down scope, see, scope drives time, cost, quality, resources, risk, contracting, it drives all that. So if you can't lock down scope quickly, you're going to be chasing that thing through the whole project. I sometimes use an example in our project management classes. Think about painting your sponsor into a corner. And some people go, well, that's not good. I'm like, why? If what you're supposed to do with the project is basically in that corner, and you can paint the rest of the floor and say everything that's not painted is in the project, that's where the sponsor is. So that area that's not painted is what we're supposed to do. That's in scope. That's a really good thing, because we know we're supposed to do this, we're not supposed to do that. And there's a lot of value in that. Expect change is our next point, point number 8. Now, I just talked about locking down scope, but expecting change. Stuff happens. You know, I asked a class once, I said, raise your hand if you know what you're doing next weekend. And I said, keep them up, next weekend, next weekend, next weekend. We got 8 weekends out before the final person lowered their hand. So in other words, when you go home at the end of the day, you and your family pretty much influence what you do from when you leave work until you go back on Monday. And 8 weekends out is the farthest anybody could forecast. Okay, Monday through Friday at work, when stuff's going all over the place, expect change. Stuff's going to happen. There's a lot of moving pieces. So, you know, you can either deal with it with change requests, or you can have an adaptive environment like Agile or Scrum, XP, you know, Lean, etc., to be adaptive to what happens. And that leads us to point number 9, adapt, adapt, adapt. I told a PM class once, adapt or die. You know, if you don't adapt, stuff's going to change. You know, you can either adjust or not. So it's key to be adaptive. Stuff is going to be going on around you. It's going to be evolving. Number 10, the final point here, keep the team accountable. You know, you're accountable for delivery of the project results. They are accountable for the things that are assigned to them. If you can't hold them accountable, it's going to have a ripple effect up to you, because you're going to run out of hours in the day in trying to get the project done. So hopefully these tips have been helpful. Feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a like if you found some value here, and go to crosswindpm.com for further guidance and products and services associated with evolving your career and the raise and recognition that you deserve. Thank you.